All right, let's talk Shopify. In today's video, I'm going to show you 3 different ways that you can upload products to your Shopify store. So with that, let's just jump straight into it. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to land on our Shopify dashboard, which is this one after we sign up. I'm pretty sure by this point you have already signed up. So we're going to go ahead after that and click on products. Now under the products tab, we're going to see all of our different products over here, and we're going to have a few different options up here, which is going to be the ones that we're looking for. So first we have import, then we have add product. These are just 2 of them. The third one I'm going to show you is a little bit later on. So make sure you stick around because that is actually probably the most efficient way of doing things. But let's not jump ahead of ourselves and let's start with add product. So this is going to let us add 1 product at a time, while the import button is going to help us add multiple products all at once. So let's go ahead and click on add product. Now it's going to take us to our add product page where we're going to fill in all of the details for our product. So let's just go ahead and choose something random really fast. So let's just say that we're starting off with something pretty simple and pretty quick. So let's do a yoga vest. Now in the description, we're just going to talk about, what our product is. I suggest that you put a few details about your product so that way your customers can already know what they're getting, but don't go into too much detail because not everybody wants to read a huge paragraph about your product. Let your pictures do the work on this part. So let's go ahead and just put a 100%, polyester red vest for yoga. Again, we're keeping it simple for now, just for demonstration purposes, but we can also generate text using the Shopify AI, and that's right here. So now all we have to do in here is just add a couple of different terms that would describe a product. So let's say comfortable yoga vest, soft feel, elastic, and what else would it be? Sweat wicking. Now we choose a tone, so we have a few different options here depending on how we want to come off as a brand or as our sellers. Let's just keep it at expert, and then you can also add a couple of special instructions. So you can tell it to use emojis or whatever you want, but this is you actually talking to the AI. This is you describing your product. So then click on generate. And then we have engineered for serious practitioners. This yoga vest combines premium soft fabric with advanced moisture management technology. Okay, so this is perfect. It is definitely using AI, you can kind of tell, because engineered for serious practitioners, it's kind of out there. But again, what we can do is we can change the tone, maybe do it a little bit more playful, or we can just go ahead and keep and just replace that and just put this yoga vest combines premium soft fabric and then the rest. So obviously we don't have to go with what it gives us, but it definitely helps. Now, as far as the media, here all we have to do is go ahead and add our media. So we can go ahead and upload our image, or we can also generate an image using the Shopify image generator. So let's wait until our actual vest comes up. So, all right, so that's good. Let's click on done. And then it's over here. Let's click on this one more time, do generate image. And now we can put, let's say, someone doing yoga in a pose in the park. Now, what this will do is it'll create an image for us, but unfortunately, it won't take into consideration the product that we're trying to upload. But the option that I am going to give you later is going to let you do this. So you can make very custom and unique product images. So again, keep sticking around because it is definitely worth it. So we can maybe use this as, a type of product photo to just attract people who do yoga, right? But again, it's not actually taking into consideration the product, so be careful how you use it. I'm not going to use that. But then we have our categories. Our categories are pretty much going to be auto-filled depending on our description and our title. But if it's wrong, we can always go ahead and change it ourselves. We have our price. So what am I going to sell this at? I'm going to sell it at $24.99. And I'm going to do a compare at price. So what's a compare at price? Simply put, whenever you see that little price on Shopify that says $24.99, but then on top of it, it's got a slashed price that says $29.99, that's what it is. So here, let's put $29.99. We're going to charge tax on this product. Then our cost. So how much does this cost us? Well, this one actually cost me $12, which means our profit is going to be over $12 or $12.99. And our margin is going to be 52%. So that gives you a nice little idea of how much money you're going to be making. Now, this does not take into consideration the fees. So always remember that Shopify is going to have, all right, I had to Google this because I always forget, but Shopify does have a 2.9% fee with 30 cents added on top per transaction. So this right here, this profit and the profit margin percentage, that doesn't take that into account. So you need to do that yourself. Now over here under product organization, this is how we're going to keep track of our products and our analytics. And we're going to be able to filter our different products this way. So here we can give our product a type. So this is going to be, let's say, a top. Then for vendor, we don't need to put this. This could be our brand name or whatever we want it to be, but we can go ahead and put that if we choose to. And then a collection. So we can add this to a collection so we can easily reference that collection and maybe bring it up in our yoga collection or in our blue shirts collection or whatever it may be. And then any tags that we can use to be able to keep track of this product specifically. So if we want to add this product to 2 different collections, we can add them by tags. But this is a little bit different. This is getting into a different part of the inventory system on Shopify. And if you do want to learn about that, if you want to learn more about that, let me know down in the comments below. I would love to hear what you want to learn about and what you're having struggles with. So again, drop it down in the comments below. Make sure you subscribe and make sure you like this video so that way you stay up to date with anything and everything that has to do with e-commerce and with dropshipping. With that, let's just go ahead and return back to this. Then we're going to go ahead and scroll down a little bit. We're going to have our inventory. So do you want to track this inventory or not? This is really going to depend on you because let's say if you have an unlimited amount of these products, then you don't really need to keep track of it. But a lot of us don't have this option. So we can go ahead and keep track of that inventory. And here it's going to ask us where our inventory is going to be located or where it's going to be coming out from. So some people might have inventory in 2 different locations, and you can add both warehouses on here or both houses, locations, whatever it may be, both offices. Doesn't have to be a warehouse. It's just really wherever this product is shipping from. You can also change the quantity based on that location. So if you do have multiple locations, you can have, let's say, 3 in this one and then 10 in a different one. Now, our shipping. Now, this is very important because this is going to affect the end price. Because if we say that our product is heavier than what it's supposed to be, shipping is going to be a little bit more. But that's if you're charging for shipping. So let me explain. When it comes to the shipping, we're going to go ahead and do add new package. And what we want to do is we want to pack our product. And then after we pack our product, we want to go ahead and measure and weigh it then. We never want to measure or weigh a product before it's actually packaged. Because what UPS, FedEx, or USPS are going to take into consideration is the final weight and the final size of what's being mailed. They don't care about your product. It could be, I don't know, something that's 2 inches in a foot-long box. They're going to charge you for that foot-long box. Now, that's not the only thing that's taken into consideration. It's also the weight. And this is probably more important as well, because the heavier a product, the more they're going to charge you. So always be sure to do this beforehand. Make sure you pack your product, and then you can go ahead and add these specifics. Now, if you don't have the product on hand, let's say if you're drop shipping, then you can just charge a general flat fee shipping charge, or you can just offer free shipping, which is usually what I do for all my products. Just offer free shipping and just include the price that you would normally pay for the shipping into the product itself. Now, after that, we have our variants tab. So let's go ahead and click on variants, and we're going to have a few different options. So typically for what we're trying to sell right now, the vest, we're going to have just sizes and colors. A lot of the times these are added automatically if you have different color variations in your images. So Shopify is pretty smart with that. It automatically picks it up and it'll give you different colors. So it'll say you have a blue variation and a white variation. But if for whatever reason it's not doing that, you can go ahead and click on here, choose color, and then you can choose your different variation for the color. So blue over here, we can go ahead and click on it again, and then we can add anything else. So let's say a blue, black, and bronze. Then all of our variations are here, click on done, and then we have that there. Now down here, we're gonna have the different options for our variations. So we can add a specific image for each one. We can change the pricing, and we can change how many we have in stock. Now for here, it's telling me to edit. I have to select a single location, so I would have to select my option over here. But since I only have one, it's all controlled through here. If I had multiples, we'd be able to change it a little bit differently. Then we have our meta fields. This is all essentially, I guess, internal information. It's not stuff that's shown to the customer. Instead, this is shown to platforms like Google or ChatGPT, because what it does is ChatGPT and Google are going to be searching whenever it gets asked for a query. It's going to search for specific things, right? And this is pretty much part of the information that it reads. So it'll know, oh, this is perfect for what this person is searching for. So while it might not be something that is customer facing, it's definitely something that can help get you sales in the long run. Then we have our search engine listings. So whenever your product page or your store come up on Google, if somebody searches for something that's similar, this is what it's going to show. So it's going to show your store name, and then it's going to show what your product is. So in this case, we have the yoga vest and our description and even our price. So once we're done here, once we're happy with our listing details, we can click on save, and our product is going to be live. Well, at least in this case, it's live. Over here where it says status, we can go ahead and switch it to active, draft, or unlisted. Up to you. So let's go ahead and view our page. And this is what it's going to look like on my page. For you, it might look a little bit different depending on how your store is set up. But with that, let's run back to our products page at Shopify, and then let's do import. And let's learn how we're gonna do bulk importing. So when we click on import, we're gonna have this little pop-up box that says import products by CSV. This, all you do is click on download the sample CSV. We're gonna go ahead and run to Google Sheets, go ahead and file, import. We're gonna go ahead and import our sheet, import the data. And then this is what we're gonna have to fill out. So it's pretty straightforward. It might look complicated, but if you take the time and you actually read through each one of these different options up here, that's bolded, you're gonna see exactly what we need. So the title is gonna be the title of our product. Here we're gonna have the URL handle. What does that mean? That pretty much means that when we go to www.mystore.com/this is my product, that's what's gonna show here, that this is my product part. So let's say here it could be something like t-shirt white, t-shirt blue, if you have different variations. That's how you're gonna make different variations. Then the description, this can stay the same either throughout the entire thing or just on the first one. The vendor, you're not gonna need, and pretty much just so on. Some of the other information you might not know about, so like let's say your SKU or your barcode, these aren't necessary, so we can go ahead and delete those and then we can continue from there. Then we're gonna have the different options, which is gonna be our different variations. So let's say, for example, here you have size, the different option values, so the different variations. And then you would have here option 2, which is color and the different ones. Again, if you don't have multiple options, just go ahead and delete these and you're good. That's pretty much the way that you're gonna go through the rest of these. It's, again, pretty straightforward. It's very straightforward. And then once this is done, you're gonna go ahead and save it. By the way, I did this through Google Sheets. If you have Microsoft Excel, you can do it through there, whatever it is that you use to edit your CSV files. I use this because it's easier. We're gonna go back here, we're gonna add the file, and then we're gonna import it that way. And then we're gonna have all of our different listings over here, the same way that you see our yoga vest. All right, now that is the manual way of uploading products to your Shopify store. But now I'm gonna show you another way that's a lot quicker, it's a lot faster, and it lets you import products from different suppliers or from different sellers online. And it's gonna be fully automated. So for this, what we're gonna do is we're gonna run over to AutoDS. AutoDS is an all-in-one dropshipping platform that is going to pretty much automate your entire online business for you. Now, what we do on here is we're gonna look for a product on AliExpress, like the one that we saw earlier, this one over here. We're gonna take this link, we're gonna go to AutoDS, we're gonna click on Add Product. We're gonna choose either single product or multiple products. So I'll show you this one in a second. Actually, let's do it through here. We're gonna click on multiple products and we're gonna paste on here. We're gonna click on Enter. Then we're gonna paste another one. Let's do this one right here. Take that link, then we're gonna paste it right under. And then down here, you can see that our supplier is China and it's shipping from the warehouse in the United States. So we're gonna click on Add as Draft. And then it's gonna be sent over to our draft section where we can make any necessary edits. So as you can see, both our products already uploaded with all the information from our supplier. So from everything that you have here, all of the different variations, all of the different color variations, the size variations, all of these different images, they're gonna be over here right now. So let's click to edit. We have a few different options here that are very helpful for you that can really help get your Shopify store set up. So you can generate product images directly on here. You can create UGC ads, and you can also generate ad texts. So let's scroll down a little bit. And here we have our title. So we can directly optimize our title on here with what's already on there. Remember how on Shopify we had to first input our own title? Well, on AutoDS, it's gonna take what we already have on there. So let's go ahead and make it sound more professional, leave a balanced tone, and AI right. So women's long line strappy yoga vest with open back for fitness running. Click on save, perfect. Good to go with our title. Now, besides our title, we have the category. So the category is pretty much the same thing that we saw earlier in Shopify. It's gonna define the product category that our product falls under. And then we have the tags. Now, these tags are gonna be similar to the ones in Shopify, where it's gonna keep track of the product itself and how it's doing. So we can see on our analytics if, the products with the sports bra tags are actually performing or not. Then we have our shipping methods. So the shipping methods is a little bit different. The way that shipping works on here is that it's just gonna go based off of this. So on AliExpress, right, there's gonna be a few different options. You can either go with the cheapest option, the cheapest with tracking option, or the fastest with tracking. Never go with the fastest with tracking because you might end up charging your customer or paying yourself, I don't know, like $50 or $60 for tracking because it's gonna be the fastest. Don't always go with the cheapest because the cheapest might be the cheapest, but it's not guaranteed to have tracking. So always go with cheapest with tracking because Everybody wants to know where the products are at. Everyone wants to be able to keep track of their products. And if we can't give our customers a tracking number, they're going to be upset, and we're going to be dealing with a lot of emails, a lot of where are my product emails. Besides that, we have the additional handling days. So do we want to add any extra handling days on top of our regular shipping days? Because, things might happen sometimes, or our suppliers might not be able to ship the product the same day. They might have to ship it the day after or within 2 days. We can go ahead and add that through here. We can set where the product is shipping from, the zip code it's shipping from, and if it has a brand or not. Then we have our monitoring. So this is pretty cool because we can monitor our stock and our price, and we can set to auto order. So what this means is that we can set the stock and the price monitoring, so that way whenever our supplier from AliExpress, whoever we're purchasing it from, or any other supplier that we're working with, if they increase the price, if they decrease their price, or if they run out of stock, then AutoDS is going to let us know, so that way we're not selling anything in the red, we're not losing money, and we're not selling anything that we simply just don't have. But then we have our description. So under description, a lot of the times these descriptions are going to be huge. It's just going to be a bunch of different product images and a ton of text. And we're going to see that here. So what we want to do here is actually just simply optimize our description with AI. So we can go ahead and optimize our description with AI, and we can go ahead and, let's say, make it sound more sellable or more professional, or whatever it may be. And then AutoDS is going to go ahead and rewrite our description for us to be a lot more manageable. So we can click on save here, and it's going to update our description. Now, besides that, we have our variants tab. So here, look at all of these different variations. This is everything that our supplier had. Do you see how long it took us to include one variation for when we uploaded it on Shopify? It didn't take that long. It took a few seconds. But imagine having to add every single one of these. You're gonna have to add all these colors and all of the different sizes. Maybe for one product, you might do it in 10 minutes and you're gonna be like, okay, maybe 10, 15, 20 minutes. But if you're uploading 10, 15 products, you're literally gonna be spending hours upon hours just adding variations. So this makes it so much easier. But not just that, you can also edit the variation and see how much you're gonna be paying for everything and how much you're gonna be making. But how much you're gonna be making, like actually taking home. Now, what I mean by that is that on here, you can edit the prices and you can see how much in fees you're gonna be paying. So you remember how we said that Shopify is gonna do a 3% fee? We also have the 30-cent fee. Was it 3%? I think it was 2.9, but it doesn't matter. And how much we wanna make in profit. So here we can see if we wanna make a 60% profit on this product, we're gonna make $6.78 every time this product sells. Taking into consideration 3% in fees, 30-cent in fees as well, 60% profit. This one we don't have to put. It's pretty much just making our money back from this. If we sell this product at $18.12, we're gonna be making $6.48 after the 3% in fees and after the 30-cent in fees are deducted. So we know exactly how much we're actually gonna be taking home. Now, if we're selling on a different platform or if we wanna include any other fees for whatever reason, we can add those on here. So let's say we're doing 6% in fees. You're gonna see it went up to $18.70 to still make our 60% in profit, which is $6.48. Now, if we're happy with this, we can go ahead and click on save, or we can select everything all at once and then edit our pricing information through here to affect everything at once. Then we can check out our images tab where we have all of our different product images, but not just that, we can also click on generate images up here. So let's say we wanna take just this one into consideration, right? Let's just do the blue one. And now the prompt that I'm gonna be using for this is gonna be woman wearing the shirt at the beach looking forward, just something simple. And the reason I'm telling it to look forward is just because we do wanna get a little bit specific sometimes. They might be looking the opposite way. Let's say they have their back turned to us and we're not giving them a reference image for the back. So it'll give us something completely different. But so far so good, everything looks pretty good. If we're happy with this, we can go ahead and click on save, or we can just generate a few more images if we choose to. But then besides that, we have our item specifications, which is just more essentially meta information for our products. And that is the automated way to upload either one or multiple products to your Shopify store that, as you can see, really just speeds up the entire process for you. So which one of these methods was your favorite? Which one do you find the easiest? Let me know down in the comments below. I would love to hear your thoughts. And if you want to learn how you can build a fully converting Shopify store in just a few minutes, then make sure to check out this video right here.